welcome back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been a wonderful day, and I'm very excited about my next guest. She is the anchor and also host on Fox 2's AM show. Please welcome my sister, Kim Hudson, everybody. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Wow, Kim Hudson in the house, y'all. Make some noise, y'all. Yeah. Wow. You know how long it's been? Since I've been trying to get you on the show.
Yeah, it's been about like two and a half years.
About 3 years. No
Yeah,
big deal. I'm not counting.
It's been
3 years and like 21 days. But it's such a treat to have you here. Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. So tell me, okay, you're a St. Louis native, all right, and you're on one of the biggest morning shows in the tri-state area, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is that like?
I'm confused every day.
Okay.
I'm confused every day.
I'm confused every day too, but
this could have happened for me. I know that I'm a hard worker, but I do realize that hard work only gets you so far. After that, it's got to be God, whatever your higher power is that you believe in, sending lots of angels. I've had so many people let me shadow them, like, Jeff Bernthal, Melanie Moon. Shirley Washington, let me tell you something.
Oh.
Mama don't play. She's like on you, like, did you do your audition reel? Did you submit your Emmy reel? She is on you. Excellence. Wow. Nothing but excellence.
What made you want to go into news in the first place? Journalism, the whole nine?
Well, I have to say, growing up, I was very frustrated at how people of color were portrayed and talked about in the news media. Yeah. And as I grew up, I also realized there were other, so-called marginalized classes, like women, poor people. I was frustrated with how they were spoken about. And a lot of really great work has been done over the past several years about unpacking terms, and basically just showing respect. Not political correctness, but respect. And I'm glad to have been part of that work. And I just want to tell stories in a way that leaves everybody that I talk about with some dignity.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely are putting it on for the city, for sure. No, seriously, you have you support so much that's going on in the city that a lot of times I'm like, dang, I didn't even know. I appreciate it because I always tune in just to know what's going on in the city in the first place. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't even know that event's going on or that other event is going on. So I really appreciate what you're doing because it's different now since you've been running that show and being a part of it. So I got to ask you, what is your day like? Because from my understanding, you go to sleep at what, 4 p.m.?
4 p.m.
So
4 p.m.
What's your day like?
Okay.
What time do you get up? Let's start there.
I get up at midnight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's totally normal.
Yeah. It's completely normal.
How's the single life? How's the
it's
nightlife for you? Okay.
It's straight single.
Okay.
And that's it. So,
I'm sorry.
Single. That's it. No, it's okay. It's okay.
I mean, I know some friends, fellas. I know some friends out here.
So it
you know
sounds
what I'm
like
saying?
the same crickets
I
that I hear when I'm driving
There's
to work.
no crickets. Trust me. Trust me. There are no crickets over here. But yeah, tell me a little bit more about like your day because it's just really fascinating to me how you get it done.
So I host the 9 a.m. show, but I also anchor the 4 a.m. show. So I get up at midnight. Get myself dressed, get into work, put on HD makeup because it's a thing, and it's very unforgiving HD makeup, just makeup for high definition cameras.
So there's a makeup for HD cameras?
Right, and the application and everything has to be much smoother than it did with standard definition cameras. I'm sorry, let me back up. A little bit about my background. Sure. I used to work behind the camera. I was behind the camera until 2006 when I started working for STL TV. Okay. So I know that standard definition is just, it's that's it. It's just not as sharp as what we are used to now with high definition 4K, which sees everything. So you better make sure that everything is blended right, because if not, you're going to get an email from somebody.
Oh, boy.
And
no, I've seen some of these tweets and emails that some of the other anchors get. It's unbelievable.
I've gotten some. I've fielded some for other people. It's really sad, but I make sure that I look great for HD makeup. Which is, I'm a tomboy, so that takes some time. And then I read over scripts. I read the news of the day. I listen to the news of the day just to make sure that whenever I'm delivering the news, since it's coming from so many different sources, that I'm actually delivering the truth. And then I get off the set at 5, and I start putting together the 9 a.m. show.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 9 a.m. show. Then you get done with the 9 a.m. show at what time?
The show ends at 10. Okay. And then hopefully I get to go home, but rarely. And I try to go home by noon at the latest.
So let me ask you this. How did you get that gig in the first place? Because that's fascinating to me. Because it was, at first, it was Tim and April, and then Tim took some time off.
Yes.
Or he left. Yes. And then it was just all in your hands.
Yeah, it was just in my hands.
But now he's still in it, right?
Yeah, well,
sort of, but yes. But
well, Tim now is one of our morning show reporters, and he brings those really great moments to the morning show.
Right.
But he's always been a mentor. He's always been supportive. After he left, for months I could call him and say, "Oh my gosh, I just saw the ratings. I'm freaking out," and he was just like, "Chill out. You got to look at long-term trends." And and even now, it's like if I need him for the 9 o'clock show, he is there. Period. So it's just been really great. He's been a really great mentor, and I've been very lucky to have him around.
Well, and I think we glossed over the question, so I'm going to ask you one more time.
Sure.
How did you get the gig in the first place?
I was just told I was going to do it.
That's it?
I was told we would like for you to take on the 9 a.m. show, and I have to admit I did not say no. And I remember at Tim's goodbye party, he handed me a baton, and it was on fire. He passed the baton, and it was on fire.
And of course it was on fire. So, and you've been running this thing ever since, and you've been doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Seriously, I'm gonna applaud you
for
that. Because seriously, thank you so much for doing what you're doing. The show is, I love that show, and if you ever need another person, guy like me to be back on that show as many times as I can.
Thank you. And I have really great guests who come on and they really bring it. So
they really do. Yeah, no. The check is in the mail. But my question is this, because I know that you took a little bit of time off. In October, correct?
Actually, starting in September.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was the day after Labor Day, and I was very public about it. I announced it on Facebook because every time I go on vacation, people are like, "Hey, Kim, where are you? Are you okay? Did you get fired?" I'm like, "No." And I'm like, "I'm about to be gone for 2.5 months." And so I just went up and I just announced that I had a hysterectomy the day after Labor Day. And I struggled with fibroids for a long time, and I didn't know it until I almost missed the story of a fallen soldier's homecoming. His body was coming home to a small airport in Illinois. And these symptoms I normally had, they were exercise-induced, but this time really nothing happened. But I was shooting the story by myself, so I'm in a truck by myself. And I started getting sick, pain, nausea, and next thing I know, I'm laying on the bathroom floor in a bank in Illinois, and I was so sick that I accidentally left the phone in the car. So nobody knew where I was. And the only thing I could think of was, I'm gonna disrespect this family by showing up to this homecoming late. I wasn't even really concerned with having to tell my assignment desk, "Hey, we missed it," because I was sick. But I was able to pull it together. I was able to get there. But it was only then, because this has been my dream job. I've fought really hard to be a journalist. And
of course.
Unfortunately, I was one of those women that identified herself through her career. And it was only then that I said, okay, maybe I need to talk to my doctor to see what's going on. And so I did have an operation shortly after that. So for those people who don't know what fibroids are
Yes.
are just benign tumors that grow on a woman's uterus. And even though they're benign, they can cause lots of problems, lots of pain, bleeding. I was anemic for years, and gastrointestinal
All
problems.
because of this?
All because of that.
Oh, wow.
All because of that.
Okay.
And so I went through an operation where I had them shrunk, and everything was great for about a year and a half. And then the symptoms started to come back. Had one removed, I believe that was the summer of 2018, and that's when I realized I will always grow fibroids. I know it sounds weird, but I was like, I keep growing fibroids. And so me and my doctor, we decided that a hysterectomy would be the best choice.
Yeah. So how did that, obviously bouncing back from that, what was that journey like?
I am very grateful that I feel like I bounced back rather quickly. But almost a little too quickly, because I felt so good that I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing, lifting things I shouldn't have been doing, helping family members that I should have been handing that care off to. And next thing I know, I would have some pain, or I would feel something kind of weird. And I desperately didn't want to go back into a setback, so I finally had to sit my butt down. And that was hard. And not move.
Yeah,
and that was hard for me.
Yeah, I understand. Workaholic.
I am.
You're always in motion, always moving, never
Hardcore.
sitting still.
Yeah.
Never sitting in one spot. So I understand you're a big advocate for mental health and everything. So what was that like? How did that go for you in regards to your own mental health? Having to do that kind of procedure, and then of course not being able to do what you love for 2 months.
Well, I do have to say I have bipolar disorder, and I was very strict about my medication. So I took very good care of my mental health. I believe that during this recovery period, I was very stable. But sudden depression is one of the symptoms that your doctors ask you to look out for after a hysterectomy. And so I just kept an eye on it like a hawk.
Yeah.
I do have to say that having the time off probably was really beneficial to my mental health, because I am a workaholic.
Yeah.
I am. And to have to separate and, just be Kim, and to see that the world wasn't going to end, actually was pretty good.
But what I loved is that the amount of support you had, and the amount of people that were calling in and commenting down below and just being there for you, even saying, okay, she might not be here, but she is, she is on the AM show in spirit, and that, you've really grown a family, and you've grown quite a bit of support, a lot of support out there. So that's amazing. I'm hoping that those kind of things kind of helped you stay strong and get through some of the dark times, for sure.
They did. Because the thing is that when you lose an organ, okay?
Yeah.
You don't know what you're gonna do. You don't know what the next step is. You don't know, and you are having all these symptoms, and you don't know what's normal and what's not.
Right.
So I was very fortunate to have a bunch of women I don't know say, hey, you can call me. I had the same procedure. Just let me know if you have any questions. I was very fortunate to have men, see me on the street and say, hey, my wife or my sister or my daughter had it. You'll be fine. Yeah. And
that's good.
To have something demystified, that's where it's at.
Yeah. Well, one last question, because there's a lot of girls out there that probably don't know what to do in regards to prevention or finding out anything. So is there anything that you could say to anybody out there that might be walking down that road?
I would just say, if you're feeling anything, if chronic pain is not normal. I realize that we're women, and I realize that we have menstrual cycles, but chronic, horrible pain that debilitates you, it's not normal. Yeah. If you feel like something is wrong, talk to your doctor. And if your doctor won't listen to you, find another doctor.
Yeah, that's the truth right there. I'll clap to that, too. I'll clap to that, too.
And I say that for the men, too. For the men, too. Chronic pain is not normal. Find another doctor if you have to. Take care of yourself.
Go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Real talk. Anyway, thank you, Kim Hudson. Kim Hudson, everybody. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, anytime. Be sure to check her out on Fox 2, the AM show. That's at 9 a.m. And also, she has She does her news anchor thing.
Yeah,
at 4 a.m. So if you're up early, like me, get a big old cup of Joe and check her out. She's really something else. Anyway, we'll be right back. See you guys in a minute. Peace. Thank you.
Thank you.
That boy is good.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.